Quite big.
Moving on now, though, and one of the great things about living in a multicultural Australia is all of the great exotic food that we get to eat. But without being alarmist, do you really know what's in your food? For decades, we've been told...
Look for this symbol.
Australian grown.
Keeping our country strong.
Anything else just isn't true blue.
Well, that was the 90s, man. Now we import $5.5 billion worth of food a year. That's a lot of cash local producers are missing out on. So, Australian Grown has launched a new campaign, one designed to scare. In a full-page ad today, they pointed out just a few products banned for not meeting Australian standards. You might think this is just plain old rice. Wrong. This rice was riddled with live and dead insects. Think these are harmless peanuts? Wrong. They're killer peanuts with high levels of chlorpyrifos. Don't know what it is, but it doesn't sound good. They say just 5% of imported food products are checked by quarantine, which means we get to be the guinea pigs for the other 95%. Salmonella, anyone? Don't get me wrong, we should buy local and support Farmer Joe whenever we can, but isn't this all just a bit of a scare campaign? Ian Harrison is the CEO of Australian Made, Australian Grown. Ian, come on, let's be honest, this is just a bit of a scare campaign, isn't it?
No, not at all, not at all. This is a campaign to encourage Australians to think a little bit about the produce and the products that they buy, because I think too many of us take for granted the really high standards that are built into our products and automatically in the produce that we consume.
So you're saying this is a positive campaign, essentially?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
We should be so proud of the produce we produce in this country. Clean, green environment backed up by really high standards both in the growing and the processing side. So we're saying to consumers, and look, I guess we've picked a little bit of a scary subject. These are all factual figures, by the way, but we've picked a bit of a scare to say, let's pay some attention to this. Don't just get guided or misguided by simple price and not much else. There's a bit more to what you eat than what you can sometimes see on a price bill. It's
funny, though, normally with a positive campaign, you're used to slogans like, good on your mum, tip-top's the one, not salmonella detected.
Well, that's a fair comment. That's a fair comment. But somewhere in our ad, I'm sure we say, look for the Aussie-made logo. If you do that, all's going to be good. And that's, of course, the ultimate message out of this.
Ian, are you essentially saying don't buy foreign products?
No, I'd like to make clear that we're not saying that, because Australia sells products all around the world. We're a trading nation, and that's what we need to be. So this is not about protectionism. This is about saying exercise a bit of thought when you buy product. And if someone in another country ran a test like Aquis did and released some results, well, we'd take it on the chin. But, of course, we're very confident that our stuff is going to be well above the requirements of anywhere else anywhere.
Now, Ian, I'm on your team here, mate, because we do import $5.5 billion, but we export $25 billion, mate. And I know that's because Aussie Grown is absolutely fantastic, but really, though, we wouldn't be happy. I don't think we would take it on the chin if overseas, you know, countries that are overseas, most of them are, if they were starting similar campaigns.
Well, if they ran our, and I'm sure they do run our, well, the advanced countries most certainly would run our exports into their countries through similar tests, but we're equally sure that they're going to pass. And that's because of Australia's high standards. I mean, if you grow things in this country, there are things you cannot put into the ground, things you can't use to spray on the bugs. When you process it, there's certain chemicals and additives you just don't use. So we regard as a great source of food product because of those high standards.
Ian, great to chat to you, and having seen you around today, I really hope you didn't eat the corn chips in the green room.
Taken as done, thank you.
You know the sad thing, you know that ad with all of the pictures of contaminated fish, contaminated prawns, contaminated everything? It actually looks like our fridge on Boxing Day.